Here in the Craft Corner, we are sharing a fun project you can make with your daughters, your granddaughters, even this Thanksgiving. It starts with just a plain basic top and ends with a totally unique personalized sweatshirt. And best of all, no sewing skills are required here. You just grab your stash of yarn and a little bit of fabric glue and you are on your way. And here to fill us in is fiber artist. It's like a tongue twister. Sarah Freeman. So Sarah, I was telling you, these are so fun and so whimsical. And I've embroidered these before. And it is a lot of work.
Down to you for that because
yours are not embroidered.
They are not embroidered.
How did you come up with this
trick?
I'm
kind of a cheater when it comes to crafting. Like if it involves my sewing machine, it's out. It's out. I don't want to even try it. Like if it's more than straight lines, nope. And I do love to crochet and I do love to cross stitch, but like embroidering on a sweatshirt is just something that like seems a little out of my reach. So this is kind of an easy way to get that look, but a lot easier.
When I was looking at your photos that you sent over, I thought they were embroidered. That's how much they look embroidered. But you got rid of the embroidery needles. You just decided, I'm just going to use glue.
Use glue.
You're using yarn.
Yep.
Okay, so you got to give us the specifics because I'm sure not all yarns are created equal.
So I actually wanted to do a lot of testing on this. This was my experimentation because this is my experimentation sweatshirt. This was gonna like go to be donated. So I pulled it out of the bag, of the donation bag. I wanted to make sure that this would last through like a washing. Like I didn't want it to be something you wear once and then it dissolves in the wash. So I tried a bunch of different kinds of yarns and 3 different glues to see which one held up the best, which kind of yarn held up the best. As you can see from this sweatshirt, like these
So you washed these?
I did wash it.
Okay.
And you can tell that like some of them obviously really frayed. You can like see the glue really a lot with some of them. So the magical combination I found was this fabric fusion glue. It's Aleene's. This one worked the best. It showed up the least and it held the best. And then the yarns that worked the best were like these chenille yarn. They don't have like an end that's gonna fray. And so they held up really well. Also just like this really simple, just typical acrylic yarn was also really great because it's so thin that it doesn't really fray a lot at the ends.
So it makes sense. Basically nothing that had like a twist or a braiding work.
If
So
it's like
I'm finally
multiple
seeing your graph here.
strands.
So you glued all of these yarns with this glue.
Yes,
Okay.
And then washed it and we found our magic, the magic combination.
Okay. So I need to see this one more time. Fabric fusion. Okay,
yes,
that's
fabric.
what we want to get.
They have it at Amazon. They have it at Walmart. It's like less than $7.
Okay.
So it's really inexpensive. Another thing too that you could do is also create so I actually did a single crochet or a chain out of crochet, like how you start like a crochet project.
Sure.
That's like how I did this gobble sweatshirt over here. It kind of gives it that stitched look, but you're still just gluing it on.
And how did you make sure the end didn't fray?
So you can you make a knot when you're gonna make a chain, and then you just kind of fold it under when you are gluing it on. So it holds it all in place, doesn't fray. So it's perfect for that.
I love both these ideas. Okay, so how are we getting this on this sweatshirt?
Okay, so this was kind of the trickiest part for me. I tried it freehand at first, where you just like lay out your yarn, you try to do it, and it works. If you have if you're a good letterer, I don't think I am. So this was kind of a struggle for me. I'm not the best at like lettering, and yarn kind of has a mind of its own.
Sure.
It will want to move anyway. So you could try to lay it all out at first. You can just print like something printed. You can kind of try to copy that on. They make these really great water-soluble pens that dissolve once you get water on them. It's really cool. So you can kind of do that. But my friend actually came up with this idea. My friend Laura is super crafty, and I have to give her credit for this.
Okay, so what's on here?
I need to tell you, this is that same gobble word, but we put layers of hot glue on the gobble. Then you can put that under your sweatshirt.
So that made it really stand out.
Yes, so you can feel it underneath, if I can get it in there. And then you can feel it with your hand. But there's even something cooler. If you actually rub it a little bit with your hand, you can actually start to see the letters a little bit. And then you can put your glue directly on here, or you could use your water-soluble pen to outline that and then glue onto it.
So that turned out to be your favorite method.
That was my favorite.
Okay.
So unfortunately, we figured that one out like last, but that is a really cool way. And it, depending on your color, you will actually be able to see it if you rub it. It's really cool. I don't even know why that does that, but it's really cool.
Trick.
Yes. So like if we're gonna use that, I'm just gonna keep that there. I can see where my outline is. You don't wanna use too much, but you also need to use enough.
Okay.
There's like a happy medium of glue. So you'll just start.
And do you do the whole letter with glue before you start putting the
So I do
yarn on?
like some of it. I don't do too much because you don't want it to start to dry and then have a hard time getting it to stick. And then you're just gonna place your yarn just right onto your glue. So you can see how that worked. Now, here's another tip. Lighter colors are going to be better because they're not going to show the glue as much when it dries. The darker colors still tend to show up a little bit, the glue, when it dries. So if you get too much, I used just like a piece of cardstock and kind of scrape some of that extra so that it doesn't have as much.
Just don't let those globs of glue
Right, you don't want the globs. You may even want to use a Q-tip and some water as well. If it's still wet, you can still get some of it off. But once it starts to dry, it's gonna be on there permanently.
Well, I can see that this is something we're all going to try because it doesn't look too hard, and she's giving us those tricks to make it even easier. Okay, more ideas from you. Where's the best place?
You can find me at apricotpolkadot.com and on Instagram at apricotpolkadot.
All right, thank you so much. We'll post a link for you to Sarah's social on our website, studio5.ksl.com. And you can find more easy and fun crafts like this one over there too.